Hey guys, going into the second round of an Oath of the Gatewatch draft, we are 1-0, and we would like to play first. And this is not a hand we can keep. If this were a swamp, maybe. No, probably not even then. So we're gonna mulligan. We just don't have any black. I mean, we do, but we need more lands to make a hand with Unknown Shores work. So we're gonna mulligan. This is much better. We don't have the colorless mana for a blinding drone yet, but we do have a turn 2 culling drone. Our opponent also mulligan, which is good. We can try to dig. Maybe we see on top of our deck a colorless source or something. And then we will want blinding drone. Demon's Grasp. Do I want you? I mean, you are a good removal spell eventually. But I think... no, yeah, I'll keep it on top. It's a removal spell I don't mind having, and we're already 3/5 of the way to being able to cast it, so I think I'm happy with that. Alright, so we're going to play our Submerged Boneyard, and we are going to lead with Culling Drone and not Blinding Drone just because of the damage. The Ingest doesn't matter at all for us. We don't have any red in our hands, so drawing our red cards would make us sad. Culling Drone it is. I mean, we'll play the blinding one next turn because at worst they can block most 2-drops in the format. So green. We did see some good green cards going around. All right. Well, now we'll probably play Coral Helm Guide instead. Blocking doesn't seem like it's like super crucial right now, since our opponent hasn't played a creature yet. So we'll play the Coral Helm Guide, looking for more damage. Goblin Freerunner. So red is our opponent's second color. We know that now. We'll play our guide and we'll end our turn. Oh, he's 3 colors. So he's probably allies. Red, green, white allies, I would guess. It's usually what this sort of... Oh, God. Oh, no. Well, I have some good news. We're going to have to use Sweep Away to kill her, but we're going to do it. I mean, she's too powerful to let live. Using up Sweep Away on a plant token is bad, but think of it as using it to kill Nissa, and it's not so bad. So that's what we're going to do here. We're going to Sweep Away. We can't deal with Nissa here any other way, really. If we don't get her now, we're never going to get her, so we're attacking Nissa for 4. And so basically that ended up being a fog, and target opponent discards a card for our opponent, which is still pretty good for 3 mana. So, yeah. Right now, we don't have anything especially exciting late game. I mean, you can kill one of his late game plays. Sweep Away would have been nice to get us some tempo, but killing Nissa became our priority as soon as we saw her. Yeah, if we hadn't been on the play there, it would have been bad. Really bad, because she just gets out of control. She protects herself really effectively if you play her on turn 3 all the time in limited. All right. He does not block either of our creatures very well, so our opponent's probably just getting in there. And then going to play another ally with haste on his next turn. Hey, Containment Membrane. I think we swing with 4 and play Blinding Drone. I don't think I also play Containment Membrane yet. I think we save that for a bigger problem. Although, I mean, allies, Containment Membrane's a lot worse against them than against other people because at least the ones with Rally are a problem. Although I guess they're very good against the ones who have Cohort. So if we could draw a colorless source soon, we'd be pretty thrilled. Goblin Freerunner and Embodiment of Fury. So our opponent, every card I've seen from my opponent is a card I really like, except for maybe Chasm Guide. He's probably my least favorite of all the Rally allies, but These are, well, no, never mind. I was thinking that was the Bushwhacker. Free Runner's not amazing either. He's perfectly fine, though. Same level as Chasm Guide, really. So our opponent has 5 cards in our hand to our 2. But I like our board decently. He's probably, yeah, he played an ally with first strike. But it can't really swing through a blinding drone, so that's bad for our opponent. I'll block here and trade for a trick if that's what he wants to do. But it doesn't look like it is. It looks like he's just going to swing with the Chasm Guide, which is smart. I mean, my other creatures can't swing through the 2/1, so. Okay, Sky Scourer. Maybe now I do put Containment Membrane on the Chasm Guide, because right now, I mean, I guess I can trade with it, though. Trading with it seems perfectly reasonable. All of my creatures, well, no, these 2 can trade for it. And we don't really want to lose our Blinding Drone at this point. Our opponent's hand doesn't seem amazing either, but especially, I mean, I think he had a hand with Nissa, 2 green and another land, and was like, yep. Which is what I would have done as well. But luckily we had our sweep away in our hand to deal with that nonsense. So our opponent can also just decide to start pinging us every turn if he wanted to. All right, Kozilek Sentinel. I mean, if the guide, well, I said that strangely, if the guide swings now, I'll block it with my guide, the Coral Helm version. Blinding Drone number 2. All right. Well, we can swing in the air with our Sky Scourer now, so he's going to get in there for 2. If we ever draw colorless mana, we're going to be like really happy people too. So we're going to get in for 2. Now, Zada's Commando might be a better target for Containment Membrane because he can't ping me with it, and if he does, I mean, he can, but then it never untaps. And that's pretty good. But at this point, I don't think I'm too concerned about it. I mean, being able to play my Membrane for 1 is pretty tempting, though. I have to say, because, you know, we have to keep drawing low spells to be able to do it. But I don't think we do it. Oh, I forgot to ping me there. We're okay with that. Yeah, our board blocks his fairly well, except for this Zada's. Well, even that, we have 2 blinding drones, so he's going to have a hard time breaking through our board, and our Sky Scourer can slowly get through the air. Unfortunately, that's our only creature who has a good attack either, so. But that's more than he has, so I'll take it. And if we start drawing a colorless source or 2, like Hedron Archive right now would be a beautiful thing, because we could tap down 2 creatures a turn with it. All right, Retreat to Valakut is actually pretty good in this board state, where we're trying to block anything he might be able to do, but there isn't really one creature. Oh, he could put it in Zada's Commando, I guess, in which case I probably will Containment Membrane it next turn. Yeah, he's going to make it big. I guess I could still double block it and kill it, though, with my 2 blinding drones, so that's probably what I'm going to do if he decides to swing. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I mean, we don't have colorless mana right now, and getting rid of this is pretty nice. If he has a trick, I'm going to be a little sad, like Sure Strike right now, or the new green trick would be bad too. But we at least have a fallback plan of Containment Membrane. And this way, it's just a 1-for-1. And if he has a trick, it ends up being a 2-for-1, and he does. Brute Strength, that card. Okay. All right, well, we only take 1 at least. But that does kill both of our creatures. And he doesn't lose his creature. But we're going to put Containment Membrane on it now. Like I said, that's our kind of our fallback plan here. Well, we can't cast you. So we'll put our containment membrane there. Which is pretty nice. Him pumping this is a problem too, because we can't block it very effectively, but we're going to get in for one anyway. If I get the 5th land I need for Demon's Grasp, I probably would take out the Sentinel. This doesn't look good. Yeah, that's not good. He killed our attacker, but he also doesn't have any good attacks this turn, so I could block here with my Coral Helm Guide, block his Chasm Guide, and Culling Drone can block the Kozilek Sentinel. If he doesn't have a land. If he has a land too, then things could have gotten a little ugly there, but he doesn't, so. Alright, we have 5 lands now. The question is whether we Demon's Grasp a Kozilek Sentinel, and I think the answer to that is yes. Because making that into a attacker is not good for us. We also have red, for what that's worth. And we can actually swing with both of these now, offering trades. And we'll win the damage race if he... Well, unless he draws a land every turn. In that case, we would not win the race. Well, we hit a forest, so we slightly decreased his chances. We're going to draw our Reality Smasher now. Not be able to play him either. Those are the 2 cards we have that absolutely have to have colorless mana to be cast to begin with. So drawing them in one of our games where we don't have colorless mana, which hasn't happened yet, I don't think, would be pretty bad for us. All right. Looks like we're probably taking at least 5 this turn. I guess maybe leaving back one of my creatures is a smart thing to do. Ooh, he might be playing a big ally too. Ooh, that's bad. So we go to 3 here. All right. Yeah, we go to 3, swings with both of them. What do we need to draw right here? Oblivion Strike, basically. Oblivion Strike, that is not, but we're not dead yet. If he draws a land, we're pretty close to dead, but we're still not dead. He can make one of my creatures unable to block, actually, so we might just be dead. Because if we block, we have to block both of them, and this has trample. So if he has a land, we're just dead. The smart thing would be making one of our creatures unable to block, I think, rather than pumping his guy, because if he does that, I would have to block here and take 3 no matter what and block this, so he may just have removal or something anyway. Ooh, or that. Yeah, that's game. He has haste, and the other guy has trample, so. On to game 2. We lost that one spectacularly. I think Ancient Crab seems good in this matchup. And so does Vampire Envoy. That's about it. And our cards that are less than impressive. Cloud Manta is actually pretty good because it can fly, and most of his cards can't. Containment Membrane at least can shut down cohort allies. Slaughter Drone's still pretty good. I mean, Coral Helm Guide's probably the weakest of our cards. Null Caller, I mean, you know, I keep not drawing it, so I've never gotten a chance to play with one. But I feel like it may be a little too clunky for this kind of matchup where there probably won't be as many board stalls. So yeah, I'll cut both my Mana Sink dudes, and I mean, I am planning on creating more board stalls, I guess, but I had to sideboard to make sure they happened. Well, we have all of our colors and a head-drawn archive. But if our opponent gets off to a quick start, we are just dead. And he has Nissa. Let's not forget that. We dealt with that in game one. But I think we have to mulligan. I mean, it's tempting. Knowing we have all of our colors, because we don't have colorless. So, I mean, we do with our head-drawn archive, actually. So we do have all of our colors. So tempting. But I think if he gets off to a quick start, we would just die. So we got to mulligan that away. And we'll keep this one. All black isn't where we want to be so much, but it's okay. I wonder if he's mulliganing until he gets a Nissa. That would be bad. Maybe he has two of them. I like that, though. So we've got turn 2 slaughtered, Sky Scourer, rather. We got our head-drawn archive coming up, so we will have our colorless mana. We do need to draw blue. And maybe we will, if we're lucky. All right, out comes Sky Scourer. All right, well, he doesn't have Nissa, otherwise he would have made sure to play a forest there. Well, at least we drew a black card. We need a fourth land of any kind, though, to get anything going after this turn. And then we're in pretty good shape, I think. Although we still do want to draw blue, definitely, and red. We wouldn't mind red either. He's playing something. Loam Larva, okay. If we see forest, that may mean he has Nissa in his hand. Okay, it's plains. That's good. Nissa gets a little less good the longer the game goes on. Man, that's bad for us. We had 3 lands in our opening hand. We need another one. Badly. I mean, we knew this was the weakness of our deck, was its mana base, and that has been showing up for us in this match. In the first match, didn't matter so much, but it's definitely mattering this time around. Land, swing for 3. At this point, I think I'd play my Skimmer first. Both because it ups his clock and can block a Loam Larva who gets pumped up. Okay, so can a Flare Drone, though, so I'm going to play the Flare Drone first. I'm kind of scared to take a turn off and play Head-Drawn Archive, although I guess all he has is a Loam Larva, so maybe I shouldn't be. That Flare Drone blocks a lot of his creatures well. Also attacks well. So yeah, I'd probably play my Skimmer this turn. I mean, maybe if he does nothing, then maybe I play Head-Drawn Archive, because then that gets me to a turn potentially where I can do a lot more things with my mana depending on what I draw. And it's a way for me to draw cards if I need to. I mean, that's not nothing, but it's close enough to nothing that I'm not worried about it. It is a good target for his retreat, but I'm not too worried about that, I don't think. So if he swung with his Loam Larva here, I would not block. He did not. Okay, well, do we take the turn to play a Head-Drawn Archive? That guarantees we can Demon's Grasp, which could end up quickly becoming relevant. So, yeah, I'm going to play my Archive now. It still pumps my Sky Scourer, who I'll swing with. Be sweet if it could do this, and then Eldrazi Mimic, right? It'd be so good. Unfortunately, Flare Drone is only colorless creatures, so he doesn't get to ping for one here. Drop our opponent to 14. If he draws a land, I'm assuming his Kozilek Sentinel gets 3 power and swings at us. I guess he can swing with it no matter what if he wants to. It's just not the most impressive thing. So yeah, I mean, this turn I would play Silent Skimmer. And then if I draw an island, I can leave mana up for Sweep Away, which would be pretty nice. All right, so something's going to get pumped. He could also make this unable to block, but he would do more damage by pumping his Sentinel than by making my Flare Drone unable to block. That's interesting. Very interesting. Do I want to trade my Flare Drone for a trick? That's kind of what it's coming down to. He may be about to play an ally that pumps his whole team, and it may not matter. But he's playing something. Ooh, that's a big turn. Okay, so that's 9 damage, and his creatures all just got bigger. Yeah, that's not great for us. Probably an understatement. We at least get that back. Okay, this is pretty good. Now that we have Sweep Away, we can at least negate one of the counters, and we're going to play a creature who can block both of these forever, or at least for a very long time. So we're going to play Silent Skimmer. So here, if he decides he wants to be aggressive and attack, I do have to leave a creature back. This case, I think I'm going to swing with the Scourer because the Flare Drone blocks better. Although, no, he doesn't. Not anymore. I should have swung with him. They're both too big to be worried about him. So I can use Sweep Away on his Sentinel or on whatever he chooses to pump, but making sure he gets a land is not great for us right now. So, I mean, it would be 2 turns from now at least, because Sweep Away would put it on top. So there's that at least. Yeah, that press into service is brutal. The one time I drafted it, if you watched my first draft video for Oath of the Gatewatch, I played it on a turn where it would have been brutal, but I misclicked because support happens first, which is, what one would expect, I guess. But so I guess making his Loam Larva go to the top of his library doesn't sound too bad. Stone Fury. Okay. Well, now we're definitely doing it, I think. We know he's down to 2 cards. If we bounce this... Well, yeah. Now that he swung with both, we're definitely going to Sweep Away the Loam Larva and put it on top of his library. Which we take 2 from... So we know he's not drawing a land this turn. This we know. So I'm going to play Cultivator Drone. The land he gets from Loam Larva goes to the top of his library, so it will guarantee he draws one in a while, but it's not like in the immediate future, so I think I can be safe swinging for 5 here. Dropping him to 5. I probably sacrifice Hedron Archive at the end of his turn and draw 2 cards. We have another colorless source now, so if we draw one of our colorless creatures, we're not, in trouble. I could have Demon's Grasped, too. But since I knew he wasn't drawing a land, I'm not ultra worried. He's drawing a Loam Larva, so... I can grasp the Sentinel this turn, though. Depending on what else we draw, of course, and finish him, potentially. Since his larva will only be a 1/3 again, I can attack with all my creatures. Although it's a little dangerous, given the fact that his retreat, and we'll know he'll have a land on top of his library. So, does he have another press into service? If he did, I guess he probably already would have cast it. So. Yeah, neither of us have played many spells this game. Hey, Loam Larva. Surprise, surprise. I mean, the clause about making my creatures unable to block isn't nearly as big of a problem if the only creature he has is a 1/3 Loam Larva, you know? He's playing another card, though, so. Chasm Guide, okay. Well, if he swings with that now, he's going to swing with everything, potentially. If he swings with it now, I would trade, and I might still crack my Hedron Archive just because. He's not going to swing with everything, though, because that would be bad. Well, okay. What happens if we just take this and go to 3? We Demon's Grasp this out of the way. And if we don't draw, we have to draw a colorless card. We would Demon's Grasp this out of the way and swing for 3. It would be, he could still block though, so it wouldn't actually be lethal. So yeah, we're going to block that. Giving his other dudes haste doesn't seem good for us. I think I still crack my archive here. It's going to be really sad if we draw one of our 2 cards left in our library that need colorless mana, but I think we're low enough that we need to do it. We're going to draw both of them. Oh, man. Well, okay. That is game, I think. 5. No, we don't have the mana to do it all, so it's not game. Yeah, maybe doing that with the archive wasn't smart, but I mean, it did draw us into a complete disregard. Demon's Grasp. I guess I could have used complete disregard on that instead. If I had, then he would have had to block my Flare Drone, actually, so that would have been smart, because this would be 2 power in the air. I think I swing with the drone, because that way next turn, if I play a colorless spell, I just win in the air. We also know he's drawing a mountain. Reality Smasher. Would have been so nice if after we cracked that, we then drew a colorless source. So, I'm in kind of an awkward situation here. Maybe I should have left the Flare Drone back instead, because he does have a land, we know that, so he can pump this to 3, and we know he has that combat trick, so I think I kind of have to block this Loam Larva. I think I'm in a situation where I have to do it. So I think I will be. Okay. That's not scary right now. His hand's empty. So now we don't have to worry about anything. So we win this game, it looks like, because we'll complete disregard that and hey, there's colorless mana too. But yeah, we'll use complete disregard. Just kills him every which way. Kill his creature, and then we swing for lethal. So. All right. On to the next one. Whew. That was annoying. I mean, going back, it probably was a bad idea to Hedron Archive, but it did dig me into a removal spell at least. That was pretty crucial. Even though, I mean, I would have just been able to play my Reality Smasher the next turn. and that probably would have just won me the game on its own. But so it was kind of a wash, I guess. Except there was that moment of doubt where if he played a really good creature or a combat spell on that last turn, we would have been in trouble. Whereas if we played Reality Smasher, it would have just been our game to lose. But the chances weren't great that one of my 2 colorless cards was on top of my library. But chances don't always matter. I mean, you know, there's always a chance, no matter how low the chance is. So I haven't gotten our Eldrazi Mimic yet. I've been wanting to have like a sweet curve out with that. Although I think the sweetest thing we can do on turn 3 is play a 2/3. But still, he's swinging on turn 3 as a 2/3. That's pretty good, I think. Our opponent is sideboarding. I'll be back with you guys when he's done. Or she, I should say, is done. All right. We are beginning game 3. See who this one goes in favor of. It's good to remember that he has Nissa. We didn't see it that game. We dealt with it in game 1, but we're not on the draw this time. This is much like our hand in the last game where we have like all our colors and colorless, but we only have 2 spells, and starting out slowly against this guy is bad. We didn't do it last time. And I think we have though we do have a 3-drop. Like, it's a little different than last time, because last time our earliest creature was like a 4 or 5-drop. Any card we play, any card we draw, we can play, but the chances that we draw a bunch more lands are real. There's 13 left in our deck. But we are in the draw, so we're going to have more attempts to dig deeper. Gosh, I think I'm going to keep it. It's a little risky, but having all my colors seems pretty nice, and we at least have a 3-drop and a removal spell that can deal with basically all of his creatures from what we've seen so far. If he plays turn 3 Nissa, we're in trouble, but that was true no matter what, especially since we're on the well, we drew a 2-drop. That's pretty good. And it's one that can potentially bring down Nissa, but it will take a while to do so. But I'm happy to draw a 2-drop there. Okay, he would have been careful to play green there if he had Nissa. Either that or he made a mistake. Either way, I'm okay with it. Loam Larva. He's going to dig him up a land again. Forest. Okay, well, he could have Nissa, and he just didn't have the double green. And now he does. So if he has Nissa, we are going to be unhappy people. That's for sure. Don't play Nissa. Don't do it. Oh, God. It could be Nissa. Is it Nissa? We at least have a colorless spell, so we can hit Nissa for 2. Please don't be Nissa. Okay. That is a beautiful thing to see when you're worried about Nissa. That it's just a Kozilek Sentinel. I think he's gotten a lot less good than he was. In Battle for Zendikar, he was like legit, but now there's so many like 2/3s and stuff, he just can't swing through them. Okay. So we're going to play our Cultivator. Next turn we'll play Blinding, who will also help in the event that Nissa ever arrives on the scene. We have drawn all spells. No, we drew 1 land, didn't we? Because we have 6 now. But we've drawn mostly spells, which has made this hand work for us. So I'll play Blinding Drone next turn, swing for 2 again. Start tapping his stuff down, but it is kind of like a cohort where we have to tap 2 of our creatures down if we want to do that. All right. That guy is probably going to get in for some damage. Just guessing. He could swing with both of these. Yeah, he will. All right. Nope, changed his mind. Interesting. I guess then I would be able to attack with my Cultivator Drone back. Okay, Submerged Boneyard's probably what I play here. But first we play Blinding Drone. and swing for 2 more. This Sky Scourer has like really loved us, if you haven't noticed. I think we've had him almost every game, and we only drafted one of them. Yeah, and we'll end our turn there. So we would just take Goblin Freerunner right now. Because if we lose one of our Blinding Drone or Cultivator Drone, we lose the ability to tap down a big threat, which may be what he's about to play anyway. Yeah, and that one's a real problem. So we're going to have to Demon's Grasp that one. If he has a land too, then... Did he already play a land? Yes, he did. So we're not going to have to worry about that. Yeah, we're going to have to Demon's Grasp the Embodiment. I don't think there's any other option, because tapping him down doesn't stop him. We can at least tap down the Freerunner and almost any other creature in his deck, but we can't tap down this and stop him from being super valuable. Drawing that Flare Drone's nice, but I think we still need to just immediately fire off a Demon's Grasp. And we swing for 1 in the air. And we end our turn. So at the end of his turn, at least, we'll be tapping something down this turn. There's no reason not to. But we'll probably just take 3 from his Goblin Freerunner. Oh, gosh. Yeah, that's a problem. That is a real problem. This is loss of life, so... Okay, well, it's going to be hard to win this one, but it's not going to be impossible. Wish I drafted a Scour from Existence just to side in against stuff like Nissa, but we didn't, so we're going to take 3 here. Then at the end of his turn, we will tap down his best blocker. Okay, this may mean we can kill Nissa right away, depending on what our opponent can do. Because we can play 2 colorless spells. Pump our guy up to 3. Oh, no, we can't, because I was thinking we could tap down a blocker, and we can, but at the same time, Nissa would... Yeah, so it won't work, but we're going to do it. We're going to play our Flare Drone. We're going to play our Culling Drone. I guess I can swing with everything, though, without being very worried about anything. And that's what we'll do, and I'll have to at least lose a plant. I wish I could redirect this loss of life to Nissa. That would solve my whole problem. But it's loss of life and not damage, so you can't. So we're going to attack Nissa, Voice of Zendikar, attack Nissa, Voice of Zendikar, and attack Nissa, Voice of Zendikar. So he has to block 1 and lose a plant, and she'll go down to 1 loyalty. Which means next turn, if we're lucky enough to draw another colorless spell, we can finish her. It's also a good chance if he's aggressive that we'd be able to finish her anyway, but we definitely put her low enough on loyalty that we're pretty happy. It also, no matter what, he won't be able to do the Anthem effect this turn, so... Oh, he's just... Okay. That's surprising and a little frightening. He may have something like a Planar Outburst. Well, no, if he had Planar Outburst, he would have saved Nissa, right? Because he can just rebuild after a Planar Outburst like it was nothing. I'm really surprised that our opponent chose to do what he just did. Might have been a misclick. He just had to lose a plant there, and he could have at least saved her for a turn, but maybe he didn't think it was worth it. Maybe he's about to go wide. Maybe he has Tajuru Beastmaster. But even that, I mean, isn't going to be the end of the world for us. So I like where we are now. I think. I mean, Stone Fury is a real possibility. Our opponents had it in the clutch against us twice, I think. And it would be bad, but it still wouldn't be the end of the world. And, ooh, does that just kill us? My God. So that's 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. No, it's not going to kill us. We're going to have to block something, of course. That is pretty brutal, though. Do I trade my culling drone? I mean, it's not even going to be a trade. It's just going to be a block. I think making sure we don't get too low is worth it against a dude playing red. There are 2 burn spells, so I guess I'll block the 3 from my own creature. He has first strike, so he'll just kill my culling drone. All right. Whew. That made my heart skip a beat when I first saw it. All right, well, we are going to play Blinding Drone, which will do 1 to him. And we're going to swing, I guess, with just our Cultivator, or Sky Scourer. Forgot about press into service in that last game. It was pretty gross. I'm going to hold on to a land, a bluff. So I think if he declares combat, if he goes to combat, which I'm assuming he will, we tap down his free runner now. Although we can double block it, I guess, but it's not going to do a whole lot of good, especially if he has a trick or something. Oh, I forgot to tap it down there. Oh, good, he didn't swing anyway. That means we can go ahead and tap him down now, although he's not the best blocker over there. This is the best blocker over there right now. But I'm still going to go for the free runner, I guess. All right, we're just hitting what we need to be hitting and to even out this race. It pumps our Sky Scourer, and it does another 1 with the help of our Flare Drone. Sky Scourer drops him to 8. Yeah, Zada's Commando and Flare Drone would just kill each other in combat, but my Blinding Drones can at least, well, only one can tap down something, but you get my point here. My Flare Drone can also just, I mean, I would end up losing 1 creature no matter what because of Menace, unfortunately, so let's see what he's got here. That's pretty bad, but it can't attack yet. So I'm going to go ahead and tap this guy down. All right, we finally managed to whiff on a draw, which was bound to happen eventually. I think we just swing with our skimmer now. Yeah, I think that's right. That means that at next turn, if we're lucky enough to draw a colorless card, between the 1 damage this will do and the +1/+0 that gets, we'll win. So I like that, and it doesn't put us in like a bad position if our opponent gets a sweet card off the top of his deck here. Now we tap down the Path Warden, though. Absolutely tap down the Path Warden. He may be about to pump his whole team, in which case we'll be pretty close to dead, if not dead. Because, again, we have to tap 2 of our creatures to tap down his because we don't have one of our colorless lands. But I can then double block the free runner with my Flare Drone and my Blinding Drone. So let's see what happens. If I tap these 2 creatures down to tap that, or not that, we're tapping this down now. He can then swing for 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, And I'll have 3 creatures to block. My God, this is bad. I think I have to do it, but I think it's going to be ugly if he attacks here. Yeah, and that's what he should have done, so I understand him doing it, especially if he has his combat trick. If he has his combat trick, we're just toast. Okay, he's backing off a little bit. All right. Well, we're not actually toast if he has his combat trick. This will do 7 to me if he has it. So we're going to block here. Ugh, we have to lose one of our 2 creatures. Sadly, I think we lose the Flare drone. Well, maybe we double block this instead of taking down the Loam dude. That means we take 2. But if he then has his combat trick, he blows us out right here. He would kill both of our creatures because the first strike damage would no longer be enough. Maybe attacking with my Silent Skimmer there was over-aggressive, huh? I have to double block him if I'm going to block him. He has 1 card in his hand. It could easily be his combat trick. He blows these 2 creatures up. Yeah, I think we have to go for it, though. I think dealing with him makes our future turns much more manageable. So if he's got that trick, we're in trouble. But if we can get past, if he doesn't have the trick, then we're like thrilled. Okay, he doesn't look like he had it. Okay, all right. Well, I think just notice how little time my opponent has, and this is definitely an instance where we play for time. Sadly, I don't think we swing with anything, and we can just tap down a creature and block everything else. So here we're going to play the time game. I mean, I probably would have attacked with my Skimmer there, but we're in pretty good shape now. We'll tap down this Path Warden every turn. All right, and we just have to draw colorless spells too, and that'll help us. So comes into play, drops him to 5, and I think now I will swing with my Sky Scour now that we have another body. So might have just been lethal there if I swung with everything, actually, but especially because I could have tapped a creature down. But so next turn is lethal in the air. Okay, that doesn't worry us. It would have if it was played turns and turns ago, but luckily for us it was not. Okay. So I think we swing. If we drew a colorless spell there, it would have been like instant win the game, but we're just going to do this. See if our opponent has removal for the Sky Scourer. GG. Woo! Yeah, no, he's right. It was pretty epic. We managed to beat Nissa, though, and so I'm 2-0 again. See if I once again manage to go 2-1, or if I finally manage to break through and go 3-0. So thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.